There's over 300 delisted games on the PS3, and while there's probably some hidden gems on that list, the vast majority lie in the sea of poor reviews, low sales, and have since faded into a distant memory for basically everyone that played them. So, who better than myself to go through this list and explore some of the more interesting big IP games to figure out whether they were truly that bad they deserve to be taken down forever, or if the studios behind these games were simply cutting their losses too soon. This is Exploring Delisted Games. In February of this year, SpongeBob SquarePants surpassed Arthur to become the longest-running animated children's TV show of all time. During that time, Nickelodeon worked heavily with the publisher THQ to create a pretty large catalogue of games that, for the most part, fans did enjoy, most notably Battle for Bikini Bottom, which many people still consider to be one of their favourite games of all time. However, when THQ dissolved in 2013, after their U-Draw tablet gimmick was a commercial flop, every studio under the sun bought up their publishing deals. The WWE series being sold to Take-Two Interactive, Ubisoft acquiring South Park: The Stick of Truth, and Activision, of course, seeking out the most milk-worthy opportunity of the lot, the Nickelodeon game license deal. Even though this deal closed in April of 2013, it would only take Activision 6 months to whip up a brand new SpongeBob game, and I think you can see where this is going. Plankton's Robotic Revenge released in October 2013 to pretty poor reviews, and still to this day does not have a Metacritic score. Of the few reviews available, PlayStation Magazine Australia called it an uninspired, inexpensive stocking filler, nothing more. And IGN commented, "This simple, short, and uninteresting game just drops to the deck and flops like a fish." Now, the story really piqued my interest, not only because SpongeBob itself is a massive IP, but because Activision has a tendency to chuck out anything it can for a quick profit. So I was curious to see just how bad this game could really be. I know what you're thinking. How is this a bad game? I get it. But the facts do not lie. This is allegedly not very good. More or less a cash grab. I mean, it's kind of faded from existence. I've never heard anyone speak about this in my life. I did not know it was even real. Let's go with Patrick, the GOAT. The game starts out with Plankton trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula from Mr. Krabs.
Now, Krabs, kneel before me in my technological superiority. Your flimsy defenses are no match for my supercharged exoskeleton and robot minions. The Krabby Patty formula is mine.
You'll need more than a tin clown suit to outwit me, Plankton. The Krabby Patty formula is perfectly safe in my new ultra-secure... safe.
You mean this? Ultra-secure safe?
Mr. Krabs?
The safe requires a special key to open it. I made 3 copies of the key and hid them in 3 secret locations marked on this map.
Thank you!
Oh, no!
With the map stolen, we are tasked with finding these 3 keys before Plankton does, and thus, the game begins. Now at first, I thought this game looked pretty good. The colors are nice, the combat works well, and I was really getting a feel for the overall vibe of this game. I mean, I was even a bit confused as to where these negative reviews could have come from, because I didn't find it that bad at all. I got a few trophies in this first mission, with the first trophy of the game being earned after unlocking the Pickle Blaster. Oh. Lock and load. This is one of the many weapons in the game, and for these 5 trophies, we need to upgrade every weapon for each character, but that is an insanely boring grind we will get to shortly. For now, with the Pickle Blaster in hand, I progressed through the level with relative ease, collecting sprockets and taking down enemies as I went. For a tutorial level, this isn't all that bad, and it wasn't long before I reached the first freefall section. I don't really know the purpose of these other than to signify the end of a level, but after completing it, we earned a trophy. Oh, skydiver.
I assure you that I will find these blasted keys, but I have one more thing I must do before I am on my way to world domination.
What's that, Plankton?
Destroy the lot of you, that's what! Sick 'em, boys!
I was gearing up for some majorly epic fight here, but what we get instead is a very easy fight that even my nan could probably do without taking damage. There's no challenge here at all. I mean, maybe you can cut it some slack for being the quote-unquote tutorial boss, but as you'll see further into the game, these battles don't really increase with difficulty whatsoever. After painfully going through this 3-round fight, Plankton goes down and we unlock a trophy for winning this encounter. Light work boss fight. For real. Seaweed squashed.
What do we do now?
I suggest giving up this charade and going home. Maybe a nice cup of tea before bed.
This is 100% a design choice, but they've made the characters stay facing forward, so they ain't got to worry about showing their mouse moving. Sea Warrior. This was a very common occurrence during this game, and as I said, it was 100% a design choice, as the only real cutscene was the one right at the start of the game. And it was here that my mind shifted a bit and the cracks of this game started to come through. I wish I could say the game picks up and the reviewers are completely wrong, but if anything, the game seems to fall off more as you progress through the levels. All of World 1 looks pretty much the same, and I originally thought this was a design choice, but as you'll see in a minute, level 2 looks the same as well. There's a whopping 6 or 7 enemy types during this game, with the most common ones being these little green-eyed robots and these red-eyed robots. And if it wasn't for these spinning things that you have to ground slam to kill, you could pretty much stick on a movie and hold down the trigger to run through these levels without a single thought in the back of your head. On top of this, it seems basically impossible to die, as they've placed chest after chest full of health power-ups during these levels. The point I'm trying to get across here is that this game is a massive nothing burger. There's no skill required, no real difficulty in the levels, and the enemies are so repetitive that I was already regretting this playthrough after the second level. It's just like this situation I've done like 10 times already though, like these little enemies, like the big enemy. Oh, they are switching up though. Oh, never mind. Same thing again. If anything, I was sticking out this game purely for the trophies, and after purchasing all of Patrick's weapons, I finally got my next one. Armed to the gills. Out of these weapons, the portable tartar sauce ended up being the one I used the most, even to the point where I'd spend the time upgrading the other weapons just to end up using this one anyways, as it was so much better than the rest. While progressing through the first world, I unlocked Bot Wrecker for destroying 250 enemies. Ooh, environment change, let's go. Master Overloader for defeating 50 enemies by overloading them. Master Overloader. I'm kind of holding out hope that the second world, whenever I get to it, I think it's 5 levels, that the enemies switch up. If they don't, then I think that's when it can become a bit repetitive. And Expert Listener. Wait, what? That's not even a trophy. Yes, you're right, voiceover me. Becoming an Expert Listener is not a trophy, but it is something you can achieve through the help of today's partner, Raycon, and their everyday earbuds. I've always found editing videos to be extremely tedious when there's outside noise seeping through my overhead headphones. This is actually a problem I've had to face this entire time, and it wasn't until I put these everyday earbuds in that I realized exactly what I'd been missing. The active noise cancellation is an absolute game changer for me, as it blocks out external noises very well, letting me focus solely on making content. With 32 hours of battery life and a quick charge function, letting me experience 90 minutes of audio for just 10 minutes of charge, these earbuds are really going to become my everyday earbuds, and I'm all for it. The fit is very nice, doesn't fall out, and has a bunch of gel tips in the package to fit a wide range of ear shapes. With these being sweat resistant too, it's no surprise that they stay put and don't give me any earaches, something I've experienced heavily with earbuds twice the price of these. If you're interested in getting a pair for yourself, go to buyraycon.com/satire to get 20% off the best-selling everyday earbuds. Thank you to Raycon for supporting the channel, and let's get back to some Dookie games. Before I could even think about my overall opinion on the first world, it very quickly came to an end only 45 minutes after unlocking the first trophy of the game. The boss fight here is essentially the same stuff as the one before it, dodging simple attacks while holding down the trigger to deal some damage. But this one was even easier than the tutorial. Simply jump in the same spot a few times, avoid some weird sticky ball things, and take the plankton robot down to complete the first world for a trophy. This is fucking peak gameplay. Is that for completing the first world? Nice, so already a quarter of the way through the game, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. After watching the back of the characters once again, we can fully upgrade the portable tartar sauce, earning us decked out. Decked out. Okay, my fears were partly correct, I guess. It's changed a little. Oh no, the enemies are the same. No, there comes a point where it's like, is the game only tolerable because, you know, oh, I'm playing as Patrick, it's fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, if this was any other thing and not SpongeBob, is the gameplay loop really enough? And this was essentially the question I kept asking myself while playing this game. Minus the SpongeBob characters, what does this game actually have going for it? I mean, we're in World 2 now, and if the game didn't mention it, I would have easily assumed we were still in World 1, as the enemies are the same, the environment is essentially the same, and the gameplay loop hasn't hasn't changed at all. Make it through some barriers, kill the enemies that spawn in. Make it to the next area, kill the enemies that spawn in. Break a few boxes on the way forward, kill the enemies that spawn in. I think even if I was a 7-year-old this game is targeted at, I'd have dropped it around this point too.
I don't exactly know how long the game is. I'm on the second world out of 3. I think I'm probably halfway through the second world, so say about half through the game. There's just nothing going on. This is all I'm doing. I'm just hitting buttons, waiting for these nets to go down. Bunch of enemies will spawn in, and all just the same enemies. It just is like constantly the same stuff, and I hate shitting on stuff that doesn't like deserve to be shat on. I don't think SpongeBob necessarily is a bad IP. The IP's well established enough. It has so many seasons, like so much stuff going on. They didn't need to put out like such a low effort game. Do you know what I mean? They didn't have to.
Plankton, stop right there.
Excuse me? Yeah, I'm a plankton, but not the plankton you want.
Easy. Hard Rock, which is the second level in the game already done.
We enter World 3, and it is here that I suddenly realized the true grind of these 5 trophies.
No, you're joking. I literally just read the guide, yeah, and it says replay the entire game as each character. Oh my god.
Unsurprisingly, this world is nothing new. The environment changed colors, which at least gave me something different to stare at, but each section would spawn in more enemies and the process repeats. Something I did figure out though was that you need to reach these upgrade machines in order to bank your sprockets in case you die. Now, it would have been nice for the game to mention this because I just assumed that dying was nothing to worry about given how half-assed the rest of the game was. But no. Dying is in fact a pretty big deal. Not only do you lose all of your sprockets that you haven't banked yet, you also spawn in at the last checkpoint, usually nowhere near the previous upgrade machine. This means that you're now too far ahead to regain your lost sprockets and essentially played the last 10 minutes of the level for fuck all reason.
You're joking. Oh, what, you make me redo that entire thing again? Okay, no, just restart me from here. It restarted me with none of my... Oh my god, really? That's crazy. Basically, I died. It's reset me further into the level than just restarting me from the beginning, which I would have liked anyway. But then it's taken all of my sprockets away. In the top right, I've only got 90 now. So it's progressed me into the level, so now I can't regain the sprockets I had before. What's the point in that?
Before long, the final fight was upon us. Surely the hardest boss of this entire game, and what the last 3 amazing hours of gameplay had led up to. Or I guess they could just repeat the same attack patterns as the last 2 fights that required no skill at all.
Am I swerving a corner? Oh no, it is lasers. No way, maybe it is like a mix of all of them. I mean, I don't know. Could this be seen as like lazy, a cheap way to do the final boss? I think it's cool to kind of face off against all the stuff we've already done. But given how bland and repetitive the game is, would that have actually been their intention? Or am I perceiving it wrong and they were actually like, oh, fuck it. I've already done enough Plankton boss fights. Let's just merge it all into one.
To give them some credit, the final phase of this fight was something new. But I mean, it's the most basic low effort attempt at a final phase I've probably ever seen.
Not as challenging as I would have hoped. Kind of just like Satiire, like beaming him pretty much. There you go, and he's down. Is that a trophy? Beach head. Okay, no, just oh, we finally got another cutscene.
Matter? Matt? Hold that thought. There you are, me little beauty. The formula is in your pocket. My pocket? Oh, and so it is. I had it with me all along.
You mean we did all that for nothing?
Yeah, literally. So
Not
I
for
just played a
Squidward.
nothing
I
burger
think we all
game.
learned a valuable lesson.
Oh, and what was that, SpongeBob?
We learned that before
And that's the end of the game. Fucking hell, man. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but I think it must have been just shy 3 hours for, I'm pretty sure it's 30 quid. And for that to be the ending too, well, I mean, it just sums up the entire game, mate. Like the ending basically just showed us that we played for no reason.
The next 3 trophies are ones you can obtain when playing in local co-op, and these are super easy to do solo, providing you have 3 more controllers lying around.
Oh, it's blood.
And this actually would have been pretty fun with the family back in 2013, but you know, here we are. There's nothing hard about these trophies really, as reviving 20 allies is as simple as spawning the other controllers in and letting them die a bunch of times.
Oh, there we go. Field medic.
Team Sponge is just as easy too, because you don't need all 4 players alive when the level ends, just that the 4 controllers need to be active and assigned to the different characters when you do reach the end.
Team Sponge, Team Sponge. Nice.
With that, 6 trophies remained, and the 3.5 hours I had just spent on this game would be nothing to the 6-hour snooze fest I was about to embark on. As mentioned earlier, these trophies require you to fully upgrade the weapons for every character, and to be honest, I thought this was kind of a reasonable ask at first. SpongeBob would need his spatula upgraded, Squidward might need his clarinet upgraded, and so on. So there would be at least some reason to go through this game 4 more times. But honestly, I couldn't have been more wrong.
Oh, no way, man. Well, I would have thought at least if they're going to make me upgrade every single weapon on every single character, at least the characters would have different variations of the weapons, but these are the exact same thing. So I'm just upgrading the same weapons 4 times over.
To take such a lazy approach to this aspect of the game not only ruins the immersion for me as a player, it also means these trophies are an extreme waste of time. To upgrade the same weapons 5 times over for nothing more than a few pixels on a screen is actually insane. With over 160,000 sprockets left to collect, the only thing I could do was stop crying and start the grind. I quickly wrapped up the remaining upgrades I had as Patrick.
Oh, we'll get the trophy now, yeah. Currently I have enough to max upgrade this. So that's Patrick done, I think. There we go, Master Star. Issue being that was an entire playthrough of the game and a little bit more to get that done.
And chucked on a few podcasts to ride out these remaining hours of time I'll never get back. While going for SpongeBob's upgrades, I managed to complete a freefall section without getting hit.
Oh, I did it. Yes, let's go. That took me like 3-4 attempts, so lovely stuff.
After upgrading all of SpongeBob's weapons,
okay, I don't know how many hours it's been, but this should be the SpongeBob trophy, which means we got 2 down, 3 to go. Nice. Master Sponge. It feels like it's never ending. It's just the same shit, like constantly. We're just replaying the same levels, same enemies, same scenery, same weapons. Like,
I found out that using a certain button combination allows you to spawn in a good chunk of sprockets for each character without voiding the trophies. This isn't something I'd usually do, but when the grind is so boring and is basically taking the piss out of the player, I didn't really see any reason as to why I shouldn't save myself a few hours of my own life to spend on literally anything else. The dent this made was barely noticeable, to be honest, but it allowed me to fully upgrade the portable tartar sauce right away for each character and made this grind a little more bearable. After fully upgrading all the weapons for Sandy,
there we go, Master Squirrel, lovely.
And then eventually doing the same for Squidward.
Okay. This is the last gun as Squidward. I'm not sure how long it's been since I did the last character, but yeah, it's not like too bad. You're just constantly repeating the same like 4 levels over and over and over again. Like, oh, it's really long 3-hour YouTube video on, but the grind is definitely just completely unnecessary. Let's pop the trophy. Master Squid.
The only character remaining was Mr. Krabs. Unlike the other characters, I do know what Mr. Krabs' ability does. It multiplies the amount of sprockets you get while it's active. This made fully upgrading the weapons a bit faster, but at this point, I just wanted the game to be over.
Has a long platinum, it should be, because the game needs a long platinum. There's just so much story, or there's just a lot of side quests and stuff like this, but unnecessary grinds just like this one that boost the playtime from a mere like 2.5 hours to probably scraping 10. It's just a waste of time when all I'm doing is just this for like the last like 6 hours. All right, 3, 2, 1, bam. Get me off this game now. Get me off this game. Mr. Crab and Platinum SpongeBob. That just sums up the game. That's not even a good trophy name. Yeah, I mean, I've said what I've said. Just because it's a well-known IP doesn't mean they haven't produced slop.
Did this game deserve to be delisted? I definitely think so, and I really don't think Nickelodeon are stressing to ever bring this back to life. It's a beloved IP that for some reason got the movie tie-in treatment when it literally did not need to. To sum it up lightly, it was just Activision being Activision. Now, this might make me sound like a flippin' old man, but back in 2008, Madagascar Escape to Africa released on the Wii, and I played this constantly. Growing up, we didn't have much, and I can only assume I was sat on the cold floor trying to build a plane with the penguins. Looking back on it now, it hasn't really aged all that well.
Don't worry about the plane. We have a nifty plan and put together a great set of documents.
But it holds a very strong place in my heart for the early gaming years of my life. So imagine my surprise when I found out not only did they make a follow-up to this game, it was also delisted back in 2015, 3 years after it was initially released in 2012, making it the perfect game to play for this video. Coming in at a very iffy Metacritic score of 45, it seems it didn't really hit as well as the previous title, which got a score of 62. The official Xbox magazine gave it a 30, stating that it's fun, full for none of the family. While Game Reactor said there's so many good games out there that we have to command you to avoid this one, even in spite of the colorful graphics. It seems the general reception of this game was pretty bad, but surely these reviewers are absolutely waffling, right?
Was that a cutscene? Surely not. Oh, we're just straight in. Okay.
The basic plot of this game is that the crew, Alex, Gloria, Marty, and Melman, have purchased a circus with the hopes to return back to New York. There's 4 cities that we perform in, but before getting to the first one, we are chucked into a tutorial to learn the basics of the game. Right away, we are asked to choose our character. This choice means absolutely nothing, as 5 seconds later, we are asked to switch between the 2 characters anyways.
I'm not playing as Gloria though. Oh, okay. So what was the point? What was the point in asking me to pick my character then?
Something that stood out to me right away was the lack of ability to run. This doesn't seem like a big deal at first, but trust me, this becomes a massive deal later on as the collectible grind is actually insane. During the tutorial, we learn the abilities of each character. Marty being able to jump the long gaps using the ramps, Gloria being able to swim in the water and use the tightropes, Melman basically just being able to use the tightropes, and Alex being able to double jump and do cool tricks on the poles.
This is literally so peak, guys. That's San Andreas? Surely not.
Each of these characters kind of coexist with each other during the levels, and to reach certain points, you'll often need another character's ability to do so. It's actually a pretty cool concept, but the execution is what makes it fall apart, and being completely honest, the issues were already starting to show during the tutorial. The lack of ability to run is kind of a big reason as to why. It feels like it was heavily built on the hope that you'd be sat playing local co-op so that both characters on the screen can be moving at the same time. I was holding out hope that this was a tutorial only issue, as I was only 20 minutes into the game and didn't want to judge it too early.
Peak flipping gameplay right here, man. I pray this isn't how the entire game is, because... Oh, and it's too late to back down now. All aboard for adventure. This is literally gearing me up to be so excited for this game.
But after getting our first assignment in Rome, my fears were correct. Skipper asks you to grab a certain item and then off you go, wandering around a massive map, walking at a snail's pace with basically no direction whatsoever. I personally don't think the tutorial explains enough about the main game and really would have left me stuck playing this as a... Wait, what age is this game for? No way, man. Bro, at 3 years old, I would have barely been able to hold a controller, let alone boot up this peak movie time experience and know what to do.
I'm confused, man. What is the actual task here?
You're essentially left to figure it out for yourself, walking slowly around the map, looking for any shiny objects that your specific character can interact with. Oh, and did I mention that there's also animal control officers roaming the streets as well? Yeah, these guys are meant to be like getting 6 stars in GTA, but instead, you can chuck on some glasses and pretend you're not real. Better yet, you can just let yourself get captured and spam X to escape, serving as more of a major annoyance than anything to really try and avoid.
What do I do here, man? What's going on?
After strolling around for a bit, we eventually unlock city objectives. These are different to the mission objectives that Skipper is asking you to do, but the thing is, they're just so flipping pointless. Over the multiple missions you do in a set city, these objects are everywhere, and unless you truly go out of your way to purposely avoid them, you're going to complete these tasks very easily. So what is the actual point of them being in the game? After 10 minutes, running around, dragging the 2 characters along, we finally reach the fireworks Skipper needs for the circus.
Like, where is this guy going, man? Why are you gonna make it so when you're not controlling the character, they move? It's like when you fucking load up as Trevor in GTA and he's like halfway across the map.
After this pointless mission, we are put into a chase minigame. There's a good 4 or 5 minigames that play throughout the levels, and for these 5 trophies, we need to 5-star each one. This is very simple to do, as you can revisit these minigames from the main menu, but given that they're all kind of the same stuff, it did start to get very, very repetitive as I progressed throughout the game. In fact, after beating the first chase sequence for a trophy,
It's Mango Madness!
I spawned it in from the sky. Like, what even was that? Prohibition.
I love the smell of it.
it became very clear that I had already experienced basically everything the game had to offer, as we are tasked with yet again collecting something for the circus. And spoiler alert, this is the entire game. Run around for a good 10 to 15 minutes, trying to find a path to grab the mission-specific items, and then doing a random minigame before doing it all again. And I know it sounds like I'm sat here ripping this game apart, but it only goes downhill from here.
It really does feel like there's no direction here. Like, I'm essentially just running around with no guidance. I'm not asking to be spoon-fed. You know, I'm asking for summit, like some fucking direction, man. There was a waypoint for the item we just grabbed, and now there's not even a waypoint. Nothing in the sky to tell me where to go. I'm just kind of just roaming, mate. But I mean, already I can tell like this is the first area of the game very poorly chucked together. Forget about the replayability, forget about the players. We want sales. Marty needs to give Skipper the garden hose. See, and that is where the lack of information comes into play. Like, there could just be a little notification on the side, like a little objective telling me that, so I didn't have to go all the way back over there. This isn't a game aimed at me. This is a game on the cover art of the game. It says Peggy 3. This is a game aimed at 3-year-olds, and I'm the one having no clue how to play. Like, what is the goal here? At least 3-year-olds just meant to like fucking run around the first level and be like, yeah, this is peak. To save you all the pain of watching me doing absolutely nothing productive for a good hour or so, let's just skip to the circus at the end, as this is what the mindless fetch tasks are leading up to. We are asked to wow the people of Rome and decorate this area to attract a crowd of people. But as I figured out, you can completely skip this mission to avoid decorating anything, and still, the game will decorate the section for you, meaning it's just a big illusion of choice, as they couldn't be bothered to actually let you design the area the way you wanted. That's just such a waste of time. So they asked me to organize where I want stuff, but then proceed to just fill it all up anyway. After wowing the invisible people of Rome, we are awarded a trophy for doing absolutely fuck all the last hour of my life. And then we do the exact same thing again, this time on the Colosseum to promote our circus to the masses. That's crazy, they got like a laughing track every time I die.
Great job, people.
The circus itself was an alright switch up from the norm. It's essentially just a few minigames tied together, but after strolling around doing nothing this entire time, it was nice to do something different. A bunch of trophies can be earned here, as you're required to get 5 stars in each circus act. Starting with the ticket sales, this is a button press type minigame that I think with a second person on local co-op would go absolutely insane. 5-star in this one is pretty simple though, as it doesn't matter what the other person gets, as long as you've earned enough to pass the 5-star requirement yourself. This stayed true for the other events too, as we are required to 5-star the snack toss.
What's the toss? Okay, we're just popping trophies now.
The cannonball act.
Look at his face, man.
The Flaming Rings act, which is actually such an awful event that lasts for way too long and has you jumping through hoops for no reason. The High Wire act, which kind of felt a bit pointless really, as you can always 5-star this providing you make it to the end.
Okay, pointless missions, mate. Okay. Popping trophies all over the shop.
And finally, the Trapeze act, which I failed to 5-star the first time around due to the AI on this one being surprisingly good and hogging the swing that you need for the higher points.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your performers, Gia and Alex, Melman and Gloria, Marty and Stefano, Vitaly and King Julian. Again, you've been a wonderful audience, Rome. Good night.
Regardless, as quickly as it started, the circus event was over. I didn't really feel any happiness here though, only regret that I had ever decided to start this one in the first place.
It's weird, it's almost like they probably did the cutscenes first and then built the game like around the story, because the gameplay is just not it. But the cutscenes aren't actually that bad, do you know what I mean?
After going back to 5-star the Trapeze act.
5 stars? Nice. That counts, alright? And then we should get Roman Circus Superstar. Yes.
That regret only sank further and further as we reached the next location, the city of Pisa. Not only did this look exactly the same as Rome, but the specific character objectives here felt way harder to understand. Again, the lack of direction didn't help, but it took me 12 minutes walking around the map, bored out of my brain, before I figured out that I needed to push this cart as Gloria to access the roof as Alex. The objective is exactly the same as before though. Speak to Skipper, get tasked with finding an object, and then try your best to navigate the bland environment trying to access it. To save time, let's just jump straight to the circus event and Right, this is exactly the same as the Rome one too. So essentially, all they did was create a gameplay loop that was fun for maybe 1 hour max, and then rinse this for 4 cities with the ending being exactly the same for each one.
So there's basically no variation to the circus. I would have hoped there would be different missions. I can even probably guarantee the scenery is the exact same as well. It just adds to the whole feel that the game is just the same crap, mate. It's like absolutely nothing going on. Who made this game? Let's go. I'd rather 5-star this entire thing. I'm not really sure why I wouldn't when I've already flipping played it.
The trophies here were exactly the same too. Finish the city, here's a trophy.
What is blood doing?
Decorating.
Piece of cake. I'm actually quite surprised this game even has trophies, to be honest.
Finish the circus, here's another trophy.
Let's hear it.
Got 5 stars in each circus act. Wow, that's cool. Here's another trophy.
Melman and Gold, thank you for letting us be a piece of your evening.
This is literally the definition of a movie tie-in game, and what shocked me the most is that on release, this was $40. Like, are we taking the piss? Adjusting for inflation, this is $56 today, and I feel you'd get better value for money if you just chucked that $56 in the bin. Paris had at least some location change, but the gameplay loop persisted.
It's almost what Jumanji did, where it's a bunch of levels, they're all reskinned, more or less the same missions, more or less the same endings. You're basically playing the game like 6 times over. This is just, it's not like good. Whether I'm watching a movie or playing the game, I'm not fucking missing anything. This does look like Paris though, low-key. I've literally been to this tower, guys.
People never cease to amaze.
What an Eiffel. Oh, like the Eiffel Tower. That's a good one.
One more time.
And once reaching London, the game devs thought it would be the funniest thing in the world to double the size of the level and still refuse to add a running mechanic, meaning these took twice as long to beat because there were way more buildings to climb on top of. Being as this was the last city though, we unlocked the trophies for grabbing all the city objectives, completing all of King Julian's tasks, and then finally completing all of Skipper's tasks too.
If we get the trophy London, then this is the end of the game. For I hope and pray that is the case. There we go. Done.
After completing the London circus,
Yay! Farewell, London. Farewell to this flipping game soon, hopefully.
we were en route to the final location, New York. Would we get a cool cutscene, or maybe they'd finally let us run around for the first time in 6 hours? Well, as it turns out, the final send-off and what I had lost so many hours to is just another circus event.
Okay, I guess it's just the same shit. Reskinned a bit though, this is kind of cool. I mean, low-key, I'll take fucking anything.
It was 3 AM here, so I'm kind of tired, but I mean, come on. How half-assed did you guys want this game to come across? Changing the colors of the circus act while keeping everything else the exact same is not a good way to say goodbye to your paying customers. If anything, it's just a big slap in the face and was the final straw in my tolerance to this cash grab.
A round of applause to
Oh, the game's over. I'm literally falling asleep on my chair. I have actually fallen asleep on my chair multiple times now. Yeah, very, very empty, very soulless game. Just a big waste of time, in my opinion, the entire game. Big pile of nothing.
To wrap up this platinum, I started by going back through the city minigames and just look at this engaging gameplay.
You cannot win.
This cleanup wasn't too difficult, and I'm actually kind of surprised I managed to push through the sleep deprivation just to walk around and 5-star some random ass levels.
Trophy! That is all 5 stars, I think. Let's go.
Up next were the circus acts, and just like the last 5-star grind, this had us more or less doing the same tasks for the next 30 minutes. New York was by far the hardest one to 5-star because of this stupid fucking tiger called Vitality.
I actually despise this fucking... It's so dumb and pointless. It's just like, what even is it? I'm not even getting any... Oh, fuck off.
However, I pushed through this terrible experience, and just as the birds were waking up outside, the trophy popped, and I would never have to see another circus act ever again. Yes! Riding off this excitement, I went back through the cities to try and find Mort. This wasn't that hard to be fair, as Mort makes a good amount of noise trying to guide you in the general direction.
Oh, oh there he is. Hello, Mort. Nice, man. There he is, there he is. And that should be 2 trophies right there. Nice. Mortars everywhere.
I decided to head to bed after this was over though, as arguably the biggest grind of this video so far was about to begin, and I really did need my sleep for this one. After waking up, it was time to start the collectibles. These 4 trophies require us to collect a whopping 780 of them across the 4 cities. And honestly, I wouldn't have minded all that much if there was a way to see where they were. I had already beaten the game, so why not let me buy a collectible map or give me an alert when I get close to one in the level? Just something. Anything would have been a positive over what I had to do instead. The way they've set up the free roam levels means that you have to start on a blank canvas. All the paths you unlock during the story are reset, yet still have collectibles placed far behind them, essentially meaning I was forced to play the game again, using certain characters to unlock certain paths that allowed other characters to reach their collectibles and so on. After the first area in Rome took 30 minutes to 100%, the realization kicked in that this was going to take over 6 hours of my time wandering around at a snail's pace, unlocking paths I had already unlocked before. If I had to give an award for the biggest waste of time during my 22 years of life, I think this one would actually win it.
Nice, this is the last one of Pisa. This is extremely, extremely long. And at this level, for example, they were basically all on 0. So it's taken me about half hour to get this one done. There's still so many levels. I think I'm just about halfway. I'm like 1 level off halfway. And it's taking me like 4 hours. I really don't get why they didn't let you buy a cheat sheet. They're not like necessarily hard to find, but when you're missing 1 or you're missing 2 and you've gone around the map like 4 times and it's in the most obscure spot, I'll spend like 20 minutes trying to find 1 item when I could have already like done the next level.
During the Rome cleanup, I spent an hour searching for 1 single flower for Gloria. I searched every corner, every rooftop, and it was so well hidden, I actually thought it was glitched.
Minus the other 2 at the bottom, Gloria has 1 more flower left. I physically can't find it. I'm almost certain it's possibly glitched. I've searched 3 times, probably. I've gone around the entire map 3 times. I've gone underneath the waters and shit.
I promise you now, the only way I found this was by searching on the PlayStation forums to find a single comment left by this person right here in 2012, stating there's a flower that is essentially out of view from the forced camera perspective.
Yes! You fucking legend. Lovely. You'd love to see it, man. You'd love to flip and see it.
And once reaching London, the grind only became worse. It took so fucking long to walk from one end of the map to the other, and you have to loop the map 4 times minimum, 1 per character, to clean up the remaining collectibles. All in all, this was an experience I never want to do again, and it's shocking how high the platinum rarity is when this is the game you're playing.
The map is humongous. I'm talking twice the size of probably all the other maps, which was fine when I was going through it normally, but it's not fine when I walk at like a snail's pace and you can basically climb on like any building. This is the problem, man. I've just gone through the entire map and there's 1 left. It just does take so long to get around. It could be in any fucking street, any path. It'd be nice if I could just see it like flashing somewhere. We're on the final mission, 2 in the morning. It's been on and off. I haven't grinded the entire night, which maybe I should have done, but these London levels are taking the fucking piss. Like they're so long and just so big. That's what she said, but you know what I mean? It's just absurd. I would hazard a guess, to be honest, the developers that made this probably just chucked the collectibles on the floor, knew that there was like a certain amount in the game, calm, whatever, didn't bother picking them all up, because there's no way. I spent easily 6 hours, maybe even 7 hours just wandering around this fucking slow. No one would have done this, man. I can almost guarantee. Okay, this should be the final collectible for Alex. We should pop a trophy. For this trophy, celebratory monster. Let's fucking go. It doesn't even feel good. It really doesn't. If anything, I just wanted to be over and done with, man. And we just go around the entire map again. Oh, that was all of them. Nice. They're literally all underwater. That should be Glorious trophy done as well. It does feel nice to be coming to the end of this one though.
Melman was up next and didn't pose too much of a challenge up until, once again, the last collectible. Now, this one in particular took me ages to find. I searched the entire street, searched all the path towards the rooftops, and then went ahead and progressed through the rooftops onto Big Ben, and still, it was nowhere to be found. It took me so long to reach the peak of Big Ben that it felt a better use of my time to stroll around as Marty, grabbing his collectibles while also looking out for the last Melman one too. But as I reached the final balloon, the same situation happened again.
How small that bench is. Why have I never noticed that before? Why are the benches so small? Like, even in comparison to the doors, look how small they are. Am I just forever stuck on this level or what? Essentially, I'm missing 1 balloon and 1 like syringe thing. Yeah, 40 minutes, mate. 40 minutes I've been on this one map, and it's basically been held up by these last 2. Oh, there's the balloon. There's the last balloon. But I still don't know where that flipping syringe is. I've walked back and forth so many times. I feel like it's either going to be in such an obvious spot or it's like tucked away in a corner somewhere. Oh my days. No way I walked past that so many times as well. Do you know why? Because the loop I was doing, that's so dumb. The loop I was doing comes in from this way. You see how it blends in with the lights and shit. Oh my days, man. I knew it would be in some dumb place as well. It's actually right at spawn. Fuck me. All right, here's the platinum after all this lovely time. A rare sight. Everything. That is so many hours of my life I'm never getting back. It doesn't feel good. All the circuses were the same. All the missions are practically the same. Should this game have been delisted? Yes. Definitely yes. It's very, very clear it was whipped together. I mean, maybe there was people behind it that were passionate about the project, maybe, but you can just tell from the start they had no clear goal. Awful game for £40 as well. Like, you're actually having me off, mate. Growing up, Ice Age 2 was one of those movies I played on repeat. This and that one Shrek short movie with those 3D glasses you used to get inside the DVDs. When Ice Age 3 came out, I remember that being absolutely everywhere. And not only did I try to get all the McDonald's plastic cups, but I played the movie tie-in game endlessly on the Wii, balancing around on the snowball as Sid and chasing the deer as Diego. Alongside Escape to Africa, this game kept me occupied for an unthinkable amount of time. But the same can't be said for the next installment in the series, Ice Age 4 Continental Drift Arctic Games. Released July 4th, 2012, this game ended up being delisted not even 2 years later, and the reception is a clear indication as to why. Sitting at a 43 on Metacritic, one person said, "This game is ruined. No, Activision, you betrayed the gaming world with this really bad and awful game. I wasted $30 with a terrible game. Abandon the game world or just destroy these game copies." While the people over at Metro Game Central said, "It looks like Ice Age 4, it sounds like Ice Age 4, and it plays like the frozen carcass of a 5,000-year-old mammoth." To put it bluntly, people hated this game, and after picking up a copy at CEX for £15, it was time to see why.
Ah, boys, this is the life.
It's Sid the
A nice cool breeze and a wide open field as I lead my herd home. Every free day like this, there's nothing that can bring me down.
Someone should go help him.
Treasure!
Did he say treasure? I'm coming for you, Sid!
And I'm coming for the treasure. And for you too, buddy.
What? Sid stumbles across a fruit-filled acorn, which seems to be a pretty nice payday for the crew. That is, until the pirates spawn in to claim the treasure for themselves. And this obviously doesn't sit well with Sid and the gang.
Maybe you just need a little incentive.
To settle this, Captain Gut proposes a round of
Arctic Game.
Arctic Games, all right. What's that?
It's an old pirate competition. Whoever wins gets the treasure.
I think you pirates might have the advantage in an old pirate competition.
That does not sound like money.
How about something that's fair?
That can't be money. That can't
Yes,
be the
ma'am.
And would you believe me when I say that this is the entire game? 10 super fast mini games that can be wrapped up in 1 hour max for the very understandable price of £30 on release. Like, were these movie tie-in devs just living in a different world to us, or what? Now, in the game's defense, the mini games are kind of fun, but I mean, 1 hour for 30 quid? Surely this is a joke. Even experiencing this now at £15, it's very clear to see this game was rushed out the door for the movie, rather than making a game off the back of the movie.
Well, I'm locked in now.
I will give them points for at least adding cutscenes into the game, but to be honest, the value they give is next to nothing, as it's just the two sides beefing and giving the big talk before jumping straight into the next minigame out of nowhere.
All this sliding has wiped me out. I'm gonna rest up for tomorrow's events.
Why put off tomorrow what you can steal today?
Facts.
Now don't-
I think the best way I can think to describe this game is if they took the Madagascar circus event and repackaged it as its own game. It's not that these minigames are bad, but it's more that there's just nothing going on. The enemy AI isn't hard at all, and while the first playthrough of the game is decent enough, the trophy list requires you to replay the entire game 3 more times, which makes it get old super fast. During these minigames, you can earn miscellaneous trophies for doing extra stuff, like getting all of your shells into the target on this curling minigame.
W trophy. In the bag. Oh, bullseye. There we go.
My turtle score was higher than yours. I won.
Yeah, tell him,
Go
Sid.
me. Go me.
No, you didn't.
I have that winning feeling. I tingle all over.
Maybe you're coming down with something.
Maybe you're a sore loser.
We're destroying all of the targets on this minigame.
Fucking buzzer beater over here. Ready? We got it. If that pops, holy shit.
Really? Oh my god. No way. No fucking way. That was literally like a fucking buzzer beater, man. The ones remaining weren't too bad, but nothing to write home about. We skied down a mountain for this trophy.
You're doing great, Granny, but do it faster. You might want to go a wee bit.
Shut up, mate.
Pump your arms to speed up, Granny.
Oh, well, fuck off. Bro's in my ear, like.
Pump to speed up, bro. Pump to speed up.
Okay, that had to have been all of them. Give me that trophy, come on. Yes, let's go.
Purposely ended Diego's life 15 times for this trophy.
Now this is peak gameplay.
Up to it, Diego.
What?
Talk to it, buddy.
Right there.
Diego. Literally just got this guy in my ear going, "Talk to it, Diego," and then Sid, like, I can jump better than that, like, constantly, like, the same 2 voice lines.
Move, Diego. Pretend Kira's on your tail.
Can I turn voice lines off me?
Where are those cat-like reflexes when you need them?
Up to it, Diego.
Oh, shut up.
You and your scurvy crew better be ready for the next event.
Don't you worry, my scurvy crew is born ready.
You think your own crew is scurvy?
No, I think that you're cleverly trying to psych me out, and it's not gonna work anymore.
Oh,
Right, bro,
so
yeah.
you admit it was working.
La 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 la, can't hear you. Getting ready for the next event. La 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 la.
I wonder why this game was delisted. To be honest, going through every minigame will probably bore you as much as playing it did. So instead, here's Sid shaking his backside after we won the game as the herd.
Losing isn't in my survival of the fittest.
Nice. W game. I read a review on this and it was saying, you know, it's bad when the movie lasts longer than the game.
Well, this wasn't the worst day of my life.
No, not the worst day of my life either.
Hey.
You hear that, everybody? I got bragging rights. Go, Sid. Go, Sid.
Hey.
You the man.
Hey.
You the man.
Hey.
Go me.
Jeez.
Go you. Go me. Go you. Wait, I wasn't done. Go, Sid. Go, Sid.
Hey.
Okay,
Hey.
I'm done.
Okay. Oh, and that's it.
To earn the trophy Pirate Captain, we are required to play all the minigames again, but as the pirates. It probably doesn't surprise you that this is exactly the same as the playthrough we just did, but now we are just playing as the pirates. Another trophy to look out for here is called Most Beautiful Story Ever. This requires you to win the game flawlessly, and at first, this did not sound fun at all. I don't think anyone wants to repeat this game more than once, let alone multiple times if you fail the perfect run, so I put my 4 brain cells to good use and eventually found a very simple solution. Essentially, you just have to back out before the minigame ends, and you're able to repeat it again without getting punished. With both of these trophies being wrapped up within the hour.
Light work. Give me the trophies.
I feel nothing but pride.
Yes, the most beautiful story ever. That was so easy. Way easier than what I thought it was going to be.
It was time to enter free play. Disguised as something new, I originally went into this thinking it was some kind of free roam situation like the Ice Age 2 game, but it's literally the same levels with a gold medal attached to each one. I mean, how flippin' low effort can we get here? After already being forced to play the game twice, these gold medals were very, very easy.
Not a big fan of this decision. I think that's pretty scummy. Don't know if that was gold. Oh, okay. Calm. Buzzer beater. Nice. I don't know what the requirement was. It was 30 seconds.
How fast can you smash that ice? Starting
Okay.
now.
I think we still did it.
That was too easy.
It wasn't until reaching the last 2 that the difficulty would step up quite a bit. The gold medal on Scrat Cannon requires you to achieve a total of 47,000 points. To earn these points, you can collect the acorns in the sky, but the main method of earning points is by staying in the air as long as possible. You get 3 swings with the leaves before your only option is to land on a target, earning between 100 to 300 points depending on how long you hold the die for. So for the 47,000 points, you basically have to play this level perfectly, timing your swings correctly to stay in the air longer, collecting as many acorns as possible, but also remembering to hit the targets for enough bounce.
Wanna go long on this one, kiddo?
Oh, I got it. No way. Oh my god, 1 more gold medal. One more fucking gold medal.
Golden Plumber is a trophy you earn for getting gold on Prehistoric Plumber. The game starts out pretty simple, but eventually you're not able to keep up with the amount of holes in the wall and have to mentally remember what holes appeared next so that you can get to it before it starts streaming water. There's a lot of RNG involved here, as you kind of got to get lucky as to where the next hole shows up. I think this one is definitely my favorite minigame though, and after getting close on my first attempt.
17k, what was the gold medal? Surely it couldn't be much higher than that. Oh, no.
I locked in and, well, see for yourself.
Oh, this is it. I got it. Yeah. Second try. Well done, Plumber, and then I should get the one for getting all gold on all of them. Yes, bring home the gold. Oh my days. That wasn't too bad. Took an hour and 10 minutes.
I would have assumed at this point, the devs might have realized just how many times they forced the player to repeat the same game. But as it turns out, for the trophy, that treasure is mine, we need to play the game one more time. And to up the stakes, they've based this entire trophy around local co-op. This would have been more than fine if I could have forfeited as a second player or skipped the go or literally anything, but no. You're required to play as both controllers, essentially making this equal to 2 playthroughs rather than 1. So as a final total, the game requires 5 playthroughs for the platinum, and 4 of those are boring as fuck.
Yes, learn to fly, that is 500 meters. These kind of trophy lists are the ones that more or less just take the piss out of the player. Well, the person that wants to get the platinum, in my opinion. There's like 7, 8 levels, and that's it. Half hour to beat them all. But then you have to beat them as one side with like Manny and stuff, one side as a pirate, and you have to do it all again to get gold on all of them. And now I have to do it all again with a second controller. There's no difference in the levels at all. All they did was make like Manny side, pirate side, added extra shit to the levels basically, just to pad it out. I'm just sat here like playing, I was gonna say playing with myself then. It is just so boring. WA to spend my evening, man. Alright, the last trophy we have for this platinum is basically just to replay this level over and over again, the skiing level. We need like 1,000 meters skied. Some people said they played this twice. Some people said they played this like 11 times in a row, but eventually it does pop, so we just basically got to sit here and wait. I guess it just depends how they calculate meters, how high this mountain is, type stuff. Oh, we got it. Let's go, Platinum Acorn.
Do I think this game deserved to be delisted? I'm gonna say yes, as much as it pains me to say, being a fan of the previous one. This is a pretty poor attempt at a cash grab, but it most likely did work to some extent because these kind of games usually do. The price being £30 on release is actually insane, given the contents of the game itself, and it really does make you wonder why these licensed games kept getting sales when 90% of them are just licensed slop to milk the fan base rather than being an actual good game.
It seems today
that all you see is violence and movies and sex on TV.
Wait, I know what you're thinking. Fuck you, Satiire, you fucking shit. Fuck. How are you hating on Family Guy? And I hear you, because Family Guy is something I grew up on too. It was one of those shows that would come on late at night and I'd have to sit still pretending I was either asleep or invisible so I wasn't sent to bed. When I found out that Family Guy had a delisted game on PS3, I was extremely excited to give it a go. So excited in fact that I completely glanced over one crucial detail, the publisher's name right on the front of the box. Yeah, it seems Activision gained the license for Family Guy and Ice Age at the same time, as both games released very close together in 2012 and then delisted around the same time 2 years after. Sitting at a 39 on Metacritic, it's actually kind of impressive to see Activision constantly getting these big IP games to then bottle them instantly for no reason other than a quick buck. At this point, I'm sure they're even giving Game Mail a run for their money. Looking at the reviews, one critic said, with some utterly appalling level design and the aforementioned imprecise controls, Multiverse is one of the worst tie-ins of this generation. While PlayStation Magazine said, whereas Family Guy consistently delivers in quality, except for a few hiccups here and there, the game starts exploring the deepest regions of Abysmal pretty fast. From the reviews alone, this sounds like it's gonna rival Madagascar 3 for the worst game we've played so far, but a part of me was still excited to check this one out.
But where are those good old-fashioned values of which we used to rely? Lucky there's a Family Guy.
The game starts out like any old Family Guy episode, but does quickly take a turn as Bertram spawns in out of nowhere, giving Stewie and Brian quite the shock.
How is this possible? I killed you!
You only killed me in this universe, you fool!
Oh, so you got yourself a multiverse remote, huh?
Indeed I did!
Bertram is here to destroy the universe because this one doesn't have a Bertram in. So while he goes off to group up a multi-dimensional space army to take down this universe,
or he can organize his attack.
These characters in 3D look a bit funky, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm feeling it.
Stewie and Brian gear up to chase him down and prevent this from happening.
You think
You think maybe I can use one of your ray guns? No, I get Stewie weapons, you get the boring stuff. That's what we're doing. Fine.
The concept fits very well with the game, to be honest, and I really think they hit the nail on the head, being able to take the levels wherever they want without really needing much explanation. We start off in this little cul-de-sac where a bunch of frat houses are going crazy and instantly get to work on the collectibles, because there's a stupidly large amount of them. Each level has a collectible task or two, with the first level requiring us to collect 15 photos stolen by the frat boys to work towards the trophy Obsessed, and then destroying all of the piñatas for the trophy Day Labor. Blood is cheeked up. Holy shit. Okay, here's another one. Oh, I got it. Day Labor. As it turns out, Stewie's multiverse remote has already broke, and we asked Moore if he can help us out.
Oh, I can help you get that fixed, but I'll require a service in return that's worth more than the service I'll be providing you with. We need you to help our fraternity throw a better party.
This is more or less the entire mission, as we go around stealing different items from different houses, making our party the best one. In the process of doing this, we get a few miscellaneous trophies like Bipolar for switching Brian and Stewie 10 times. I wish I could say I did this passively, but my D-pad is so cooked, it ended up doing it for me.
How about a little less questions and a little more shut the hell up?
What's going on? Oh, Bipolar. As an introduction to the game, this level does the job decently well. I think you can look past the repeating character models and fetch quests because you're more invested in getting used to the world. It's pretty fun to be playing as Stewie and Brian while finding all the characters placed randomly around the houses.
Bro's got the key, yeah!
While trying to make our frat party the best one, I took down an enemy with a single shot.
Oh.
Got a headshot. And then beat a bunch of the same enemy up with a bottle of Jack Daniels for multi-kill.
Multi-kill. Flipping popping every trophy.
And weeby clubbing.
Nice! Let's try to be a little more careful.
We are clubbing. This is literally like fucking Jumanji, mate. My gosh, Lewis.
Any of you boys ever finish on a C-section scar?
What the hell, bro?
We can then collect the last picture, steal this keg, and then get swarmed by the same enemy type yet again, but this time there's also a boss. The boss, more or less, just being a larger version of the normal enemies.
He's one shot. Cooked.
Mort then fixes our multiverse remote, and we head off to the next location.
Yes, it's all Greek to me. Lovely.
Brian, shh! Bertram's still here.
Oh, one more thing. These two might try to stop you. If you see them, I want you to shoot to kill.
Seriously? Of all the stunning pictures I've taken over the years, that's the one he gives them? Brian, we're taking all of those down.
It is settled. We have a deal.
Stewie Griffin, prepare to be destroyed.
With the entire aim of the game being to find Bertram, the story essentially boils down to us constantly being one step behind him and then having to deal with the enemies in the levels. So much so that I feel once you've played the first level, you've essentially played them all. I don't think this game is awful in comparison to the other ones in the video, and if anything, this is probably the best delisted game out of the lot. But that's not really saying much when this video is on bad delisted games. A good bad game is still a bad game at the end of the day, and it's super unfortunate that this IP landed in Activision's hands. My main gripe with this game as a whole is that it feels an awful lot like Orcslayer, you know, one of the worst rated PS4 games of all time. That game has you fighting waves and waves of the same enemy types, just shooting your gun aimlessly with no reason as to why. Now obviously in Back to the Multiverse, the environment is different with each level, the characters change as well, but when it boils down to it, if you strip the whole Family Guy branding from the game, it is just another more fleshed out Orcslayer, as you sit here for a good 20 to 30 minutes a level, running around, holding the trigger, defeating the same waves of enemies. The game also crashes a lot too when going to change your weapon, and it almost felt like a Russian roulette type situation where changing my weapon had the chance to make me restart the entire game.
Sick. Game froze, I think. Game soft locked, in fact. It's what we love to see. PS3 games.
Even though the gameplay loop is extremely repetitive, I can tell the developers of this one did still care about Family Guy and the audience they knew were going to pick this one up. This isn't like SpongeBob where every level is essentially the same thing with 6 enemy types the entire game. This is 10 different levels with boss battles, cutscenes, and different events happening in each. Fine, the enemies are technically the same, but at least they have different models per level, different guns, but this is far better than that dookie-ass SpongeBob experience. The jokes there are also pretty reminiscent of the show.
Maybe one anal.
It's a hard one to truly wrap my head around, as half of me really does not like the overall game as a game, but then I feel there's enough here for the die-hard Family Guy audience to eat up and probably look past these issues. Back to the game though, after defeating evil Adam West and evil Stewie.
All right, West, get those bombs back here if you want to live.
Okay, I'll do it. But there's something you have to do for me in return.
What is it?
I'm thinking of running for governor in the next election, and there's another mayor standing in my way. I need you to assassinate him.
It's a friggin' cheeseburger. Is this guy serious?
Oh, I'm serious. I'm as serious as a cat.
What? A cat serious? I don't know.
Oh, they're serious, all right. They're as serious as...
Okay, something wacky. We get it.
And saying goodbye to Mayor McCheese.
I want to wave to him. Oh, no, wait, we can't. We gotta shoot him.
No way, man. This is literally like actually like JFK, mate.
Okay, nobody laugh at me. There's been a tragedy, people. This isn't funny.
Trophy, I think. No cheese, please.
We eventually reach level 7. In this level, Santa has fallen off as everyone is ordering Christmas gifts online. To feed the family, he's opened up the factory to anyone offering the most amount of money. And it seems Bertram has dropped some insane cash to get Santa and the elves to make weapons instead.
Well, come on. I'm dreaming of a red Christmas.
Okay, you only get one gun cock per line, okay? And the lines should really be better than that.
Again, man. Like, how are we crashing again? It's on the same thing as well. It's on the weapon wheel every single time.
As you can see, this level is a whole load of back and forth running around, but eventually we can enter the factory and take out the Employee of the Month, Vernon.
Oh no, Brian, that was Vernon, the guy from the Employee of the Month thing.
Oh, yeah.
I found this level to be quite tedious, to be honest. There's an insane amount of enemies here, constantly respawning and taking your health while you're trying to jump across the platforms to grab collectibles. I don't think this level would have been half as annoying if the collectibles were in decent spots, but placing them on thin-ass beams where everyone in the level can hit you as you're trying not to fall off requires much more brain power than I clearly have.
Just got back from watching two Harry Potter movies, Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, and I have to say, maybe a hot take, I'm not sure, but Chamber of Secrets is actually very fucking good. This is probably like a really old head thing to say, you know, fucking unk status and that. You know, back in the day, people had DVDs. We lost a fair few DVDs, but the one we always had on the Harry Potter set was Chamber of Secrets, so that's probably why I watched it so much. A bit late, so it's time for a monster. You love to hear it, you love to hear it. Then I took down Santa by blowing up his reindeers, something I'm making sound a lot easier than it was due to my shitty fake controller making my aim 100 times worse than normal. This sounds like a dog ate my homework type excuse, but if I had a working controller on me, I'd be hitting clips like FaZe Brian. Speaking of Brian, after completing the level...
Stewie, he's still alive.
Yeah, check that twice, bitch!
Trophy! We arrive in space, and it seems Bertram is gathering an army of chickens to take down our universe. I think this is my favorite level design-wise, as it's one of the only maps where the devs fully played around with the whole multiverse idea instead of just keeping everything on Earth. With a stupidly large amount of chickens that follow our every move, it was extremely easy to attempt the trophy, i.e. dead, for killing 60 enemies with grenades. Doing this as Brian would inevitably earn me justified, for 500 kills as the GOAT.
Cool. Justified.
The level takes you through the space station and even takes you outside.
Ryan, pick up. Over.
What?
Ryan, please say over when you finish talking. Over.
What? Over. For the record, I don't want to hang out with you anymore when this is over.
When this is what, Brian? Over.
I said I don't want to hang out with you anymore when this is over.
When this is what? You gotta finish your sentence. Over.
That's it. My sentence is over.
Your sentence is what, Brian? Over.
My sentence is...
What is it? All to eventually reach the final boss, an extremely large mother chicken. With the spawn rate being the main problem here, I used it to my advantage and farmed away slowly for IE dead.
Well, the damage is done.
Oh, there we go, IE dead.
But it would soon come clear that these chickens were in fact fucking annoying. You can barely grab any ammo, barely do the task specified to beat the boss, and essentially just have to train them all up just to have a gap to progress the fight.
It's so infuriating to have all these fucking like enemies all the time just on you, man. The boss itself is so easy that it starts to become clear why they chose to spawn in an insane amount of enemies, as once you've managed to create a gap, you just need to shoot the big chicken a few times and hit this button to save the damage and go again. It's a classic 3-stage fight, and although it took a hot minute, eventually did come to an end.
Thank you so much for saving me. Do you require kisses for what you've done?
No, that won't be necessary.
You guys go. I got a score to settle with this guy.
Thank you. You have no idea how much this helps.
Yeah, thanks, Pop. Go get him.
Dun dun dun.
Returning back to our own universe, it wasn't long before Peter and Ernie smash through the ceiling, and so a classic brawl between the two begins. For the trophy Wrecking Ball, we are required to smash Ernie into 20 different objects, and for something that sounds so simple, it took way longer than I thought. They made it so Peter doesn't lock onto Ernie when going in for the slam attack, and this would have been okay if it didn't require pixel perfect fucking aim to be in line with Ernie on a moving fight. Wherever Peter is facing, that is where you're going, and to make matters worse, Ernie dodges out of the way 90% of the time.
Oh, days, you gotta be like pixel perfect, it doesn't lock on or anything. Oh, mate. Oh my god. Like, I don't expect to be fucking spoon fed, but it's just, you can lock on a tiny bit, do you know what I mean? Finally, man. Once earning the trophy, we enter the final stage. And now that I could actually play the fight properly, it was kind of fun. You barely take damage though, so there's no real worry when you do miss attacks. I found the best strat here was to get him in a corner and go crazy, because you can kind of stun lock if you get the punches in first. Oh, that wind up. Oh. Rest in peace, little bro. Well, he never dies, does he? But always comes back.
Welcome home, Stewie. So you idiots thought you could actually stop me, huh? Well, while you were chasing me around the multiverse, my assistant, Gus, was assembling the only army I could ever truly rely on. An army of me!
See, that's how an assistant should be, Brian.
I'm not your assistant.
You're pretty much my assistant.
As soon as this bomb gets close enough to your house, boom! Everything you know will be dust. The games are over, Stewie. It's time to die.
The final boss battle was essentially everything I hated about the chicken fight, but amplified to almost be unfun. The task with taking out the T-Rex Bertram is controlling, but staying on street level will get you killed in a matter of seconds. So your only option is to camp out on high ground and try and snipe him from afar. This in itself creates another problem though, because an area like the car park is just too small to be focusing on strong ass lasers, while simultaneously trying to fight off waves of enemies shooting you from the side. The shop is helpful as you can purchase health packs and special items, but for the most part, you're stuck trying to stay alive while the T-Rex goes crazy. Multiple deaths occurred here alongside multiple kills, quickly earning Stewie Nater for 500 Stewie kills. Eventually, I beat the first stage and it was on to the next. This one had way less cover, but once I found the spot, I was kinda cooking. It's essentially the same stuff as the previous stage, but I'll give the game some props for saving a checkpoint at the start of each one, as I was under the impression that this would be a one-death situation. During each stage, collectibles are scattered throughout, and this would make the last level for the trophy obsessed. So after taking down the T-Rex once again, and checking I grabbed everything up until this point, the final stage was upon us, and I definitely meant to get blown up by a car for this trophy right here.
Myself.
What? That is a trophy I was not trying to get right now. That was just a skill issue, to be honest. What is this? There's just so many. I'm almost done. Oh my god.
Place is nightmarish. Sorry, pal. The return flight's been cancelled.
Alright, okay, the line was good, but if you're gonna do that, you gotta hit your target on the first shot. But overall, better. Much better. You're learning. I'm not gonna kill you.
You're not?
No. Your little buddy here is.
No!
I found a quarter, you guys. I'm a hero, too.
Couldn't other Bertrams just keep coming back from different universes?
Well, I mean, they could, but I think we'll just have to wait and see how much money this makes.
Ah, so we may not be hearing from Bertram again.
Nice. What a fucking game that was. Do this. Do this. Make it through all the enemies. Beat the boss. Make it through all the enemies. Beat the boss. Like, every single level. It's basically just, it is more or less the same level, just reskinned, which does kind of suck. It's not like this is your generic licensed game. They had time to cook with this, and they chose to go the route of basically just making a movie tie-in game, but they didn't really have to. Moving on to multiplayer now, there's 13 trophies out for grabs, and to be honest, they're all pretty easy. In the first game against my second controller, we earn a trophy for playing as Meg. Oh, one for killing Meg. Oh, I got 2 trophies on it, I think. And one for getting a 10 kill streak, which is super easy because I figured out that it's possible to spawn camp, providing you're looking in the opposite direction when the second controller spawns in. Now this, to be honest, could see being quite fun if, you know, it was, I think this came out in 2012, so 2012, 9 years old, playing like split screen with like my fucking brother or something. That's 10 kill streak, yeah. That would have gone crazy. And I still stand by this. These old PS3 games all have local co-op in mind, and I actually think this would have gone crazy back in the day. The bird is a word.
Come here, I want to fart on your face.
You're entering
Bird.
the
The bird's a word. I want to fart on your face.
Nice. Bird is the word. And upon winning the match, earn yet another trophy.
Good.
Part of me wishes this game had actual online multiplayer. Getting into a decently sized lobby and grinding these trophies out would actually be kind of fire. Likewise, the next game mode would have been a ton of fun too if I wasn't sat there playing on my own. The game mode is called Capture the Greased Up Deaf Guy, and it's basically capture the flag, but in order to get the flag, you gotta beat this guy up first. To win the game, you need to capture 5 points. But before that, I decided to work on a few more trophies. Specifically, teabag a D-bag for taunting a dead opponent as Quagmire.
You got?
No more
I was just
teabag.
kidding. I believe.
Up in jail.
I believe.
Not the good jail, like
Nice. And then after taking Brian down 2 more times, Roadhouse. Kill 3 members of the opposing team. I didn't even kill this guy though. Grease can't save you now. Oh, lockdown as well. And then go ahead and boot up Infiltration, the last game mode from the multiplayer section. The only way I can describe Infiltration is a bunch of random tasks that all earn you points towards the win. There's a hardpoint type section where you need to stay on the point while defending waves of Bertrams. Another where you need to steal gold from the pirates that constantly spawn in and are more of a nuisance than anything. And finally, constant waves of these upgraded strong chicken enemies with a mini boss chucked in every once in a while. If anything, Infiltration kind of reminds me of a survival type minigame, but the difficulty isn't really there because you don't lose anything for dying. What flipping entertaining gameplay this is. With the multiplayer done, we move on to the challenge game mode with 21 stars total. This is essentially just Modern Warfare 2, but instead of taking down soldiers, we are taking pictures through the window as Quagmire and saving civilians as Brian. Earning 3 stars on these missions is pretty simple, and I was under the impression that this would be over before it even started, until the wave defense mode presented itself. This is classic survival that has you fending off waves of enemies for more stars, and if you die, you lose. In this particular wave defense, there's a house that you spawn in containing a shop and items on the floor that respawn periodically. The general guidance is to stay put in this house, and this is completely correct. I would assume this was the dev's intentions also, as leaving this house would most likely end your run instantly. So I stayed put, grabbing what I could and buckled up for a 20-minute lock-in session. Come wave 3, I pretty much had the strat down. Search the rooftops for these throwable turrets, shut them at the door, and then sit at the top of the stairs dealing as much damage as possible. Sometimes the enemies would flank through the entrance on the left, and if there was no turrets on the stairs, I'd get cold feet and run to the roof to regain high ground. All in all, this has the potential to be a living nightmare if you die a few times, but I survived first try to pop the first of 2 star-related trophies. I didn't want to jinx it because it was going so well, but that was not as bad as what it seemed. It was very, very dragged out. Dying there would have meant doing the entire thing again, so that house was a godsend me, so I wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. The next wave defense has us sinking a few pirate ships. I tried my best here, but there's a lot more going on than the previous mission. You have to worry about your ship's health, your cannons breaking, where the cannons are aiming to count as a hit, and also keep an eye out for the enemies that board your ship out of nowhere. It was a much more hands-on and stressful wave defense. So stressful, in fact, that it literally came down to the last 30 seconds as to whether I would lose or succeed. Come on, come on, come on. Bro, there's so many enemies. Oh my god. We literally, like, look at our health. Who's gonna die first, me or the game's gonna end, basically. No, please, 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 please. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yes!
Nice. Very close call that was. The final challenge in the game is a forced co-op one, which I didn't really understand, seeing as the entire game so far hadn't forced a second controller unless you wanted to play multiplayer. It felt a bit unfair, if anything, to let the player grind the previous challenges just to reach the last one and need a second controller to continue. More confusing is the fact that the second controller doesn't even need to do anything, as one person can sit in the helicopter AFK while the other one is planting bombs as Lewis. So I must ask, what was really the thought process behind this decision? Because to me it feels like a rather pointless one. Regardless, this mission was extremely easy, as the enemies don't react quick enough if you're running through while planting as fast as you can, finally grabbing the last stars for the final challenge trophy. Co-op one though is kind of a bit mid. I know like Spec Ops is kind of co-op. Nice. Big Dipper. Unfortunately, the grind wasn't over just yet, as we are required to head into the worst mode of the entire game, Multiverse Madness. And this is true survival. None of that 3-round bullshit from before. This is 30 grueling rounds of constant enemies. And if you die, well, let's just hope that doesn't happen. For these 2 trophies, you need to hit round 15 and round 30 respectively. Reaching round 30 can take anywhere from 1.5 to 2 hours. And I'm being deadly serious here. 2 hours of non-stop enemies without dying a single time. Like, what the actual fuck? The fastest method I could find for this trophy is to play on Space Station as Quagmire. A second controller also helps, as it technically gives you a second life, since finishing a round will revive any dead players. The main reason for choosing Space Station is because of this room right here, with an ammo spawn point, a health spawn point down the side, and the only entrance being through these doors. This was easily the best setup for these trophies, and my best chance for not chucking an hour and a half down the drain. The Quagmire choice was due to his insanely overpowered acid gun that melts almost anything it touches. If aimed right, you can kind of just chill up here in the corner and do this the entire time. So I'm happy to say that's exactly what I did. And before I knew it, wave 15 came and went.
Something's wrong.
I thought my fucking game just crashed down. It's gonna be livid, holy shit. I've had a few close calls, nothing to really clip. It's basically just like chucking the mines out here. Clicking on the portal and then clicking off just gives you full ammo again. I basically just sit here spamming this. So yeah. So far, so good. The reason for sounding so tired here is because, well, I was tired. Fast approaching 3 AM and only halfway through these waves, this was going to be a long and boring night. It's not like I could even stick on a YouTube video either, as my full attention had to be on the game. One silly mistake could cost me over an hour of my life that I'd never see again. So every shot had to count. And it was on a very fun round 28, an hour and 20 minutes into this repetitive slog, that my worst fears would become a reality. No way. No way. Oh my fucking god. That is bollocks. Like, how the entire time, I'm talking the entire 84 minutes, I'm not even fucking joking, that was piss easy. Snooze fest, mate. I actually can't believe it. I've literally just sat here and wasted an hour and 24 minutes. I was literally like 5 minutes off, if that. I still can't believe this happened even now writing the script, and I can't even put into words just how empty I felt inside during this moment. But the show must go on. In my head, I wanted this mode to be done today, and even though I should have been fast asleep dreaming about playing something good for once, I started it up one more time. Alright, final attempt tonight. It's 4 o'clock, so 5:30. If I don't get it, then I'm going to bed. Round 21, I think now. Managed to get through it a little bit faster. Pretty sure I've kind of nailed down what went wrong before. There's certain enemies that require a bit more damage dealt to them. I've had like one close call. There is still potential for it to go sideways, do you know what I mean? After each level, your health resets. Means you can save your health packs. It wasn't long before round 28 was in my way once again. And just like last time, the spawn rate was fucking insane. Okay, this is PB chat, this is PB. These guys, man. Look at that, he's just fucking eating it. Ah, here we go. PB over here. Fucking PB, man. Okay. Oh no, there's 2 rounds. There's 2 more rounds. Oh my days, bro. Round 29 was just as bad too. And it was at this point that my heart started beating uncontrollably. Palms started sweating, and all I could do was try my hardest to survive. We're cooked. Yeah, we're fucked. We're so fucked. Yeah, if I can bring them round, possibly I can kind of go back up.
All right.
Once round 30 hit, I was dead silent and the nerves were at an all-time high. Dying here would not only be me getting off to go to bed, but it would be me getting off for at least a few days to mentally recover from yet another hour wasted.
Just fucking end, bro, please. I've never been this nervous in a game in a hot fucking minute. I'm actually stressed. Come on, just tell me it's over, just tell me it's done. It's clearly coming to the end of the round, but I don't want to leave here. Let's go! Let's fucking go. Why is that even a thing? Why is that even a thing? 87 minutes and 40 seconds. In any possible moment, I could have died and lost the entire thing again. Oh, mate, my heart is racing. What a stupid ass trophy, man. What a stupid, stupid trophy.
With arguably the hardest trophy out of the way, the only thing stopping us from being done with the game is the trophy Mort will now lend you credit for buying everything in the shop. According to the PSN profile guide, the entire shop cost $250,000, and it's safe to say I had nowhere near that. Luckily for me, there is a get-rich-quick method, and it requires you to boot up the Santa level once again, do the entire boring section at the start, and eventually reach this conveyor belt in the middle of the factory. I mentioned earlier about the fact that these enemies spawn in constantly, and well, now I'm happy they do because this was the only money method worth doing. It's such an easy method too, as all you have to do is walk forward slowly while shooting the respawning elves. The enemies on the ground do shoot you at the start, but end up stopping for some reason, so thank you game devs for making this spot so farmable. It was almost too simple actually, because I ended up drifting in and out of sleep multiple times.
And you were worried. You hit like a chick.
So I cut my losses and head to bed. When starting it back up the next day, it didn't take me long to grab the outfits I needed to finally earn that lovely platinum trophy.
All right, moment of truth. Moment of truth. Bam. Bam. Oh, I might have to do it again. Oh no, we got it, we got it, we got it. Platinum, please. Yes! There is no cake. Oh, look. Truthfully, I think the fact it's Family Guy is what carries it. If Family Guy wasn't the game, you know, it was just based on a completely different IP, but with the exact same game mechanics, like the exact same enemies per round, everything, just without like Brian and Stewie as the main characters, I think it would have been received so much worse. And it's not to say this game is objectively like the worst game in the world, because it's not. It's a big nothing burger. Pretty much.
I got a bit ahead of myself here and forgot to answer the main question of the video. Do I think this game should have been delisted? I'm gonna say no. Look, there's a lot of negatives here, but I also had more fun with this one than any of the others in this video. So for that alone, it shouldn't have suffered the same fate as something like Madagascar 3, but it does still come under license slot for me personally, because it's just a Family Guy Orc Slayer crossover. There's a common theme in these videos that the last game we play is arguably the worst one of the lot, and that stays true for this video as well. You might remember around 12 years ago, a little film called Smurfs 2 being released in a cinema. Now me, being a 10-year-old kid, I thought this movie was pretty good, and it came out relatively soon after the first one, which had that cool McDonald's promotion with the collectible plushies. So I was surprised to learn that this movie was received pretty bad. So bad in fact, that even the movie tie-in game was rated higher. And for that to be the case, this movie must have been a hot, steaming pile of shit. Released in July 19th, 2013, the Smurfs 2 video game entered the world a few weeks before the movie did. You might gasp at this and wonder why this would be the case. Surely this would leak some essential plot lines and ruin the enjoyment of the film. And well, the film already had it coming, but no. No plot lines could be leaked here because this game is the textbook definition of a cash grab, and you'll very quickly see why. Looking at the reviews, the digital fix said even if you're an actual fan of the blue creatures or have a child who is, buying this will not provide 1 ounce of pleasure even for a slight period of time. While 4 players said it's got Smurfs alright and they do jump and run, what it lacks is clearly level designs, which I think sums up the game quite nicely. Being delisted somewhere between 2015 and 2016, this game was only available for around 3 years, and I'm surprised it even lasted that long. Booting the game up, we are instantly met with a slideshow cutscene, a clear indicator of what is to come.
There's no cutscenes at all. It's like still images. It's one of my biggest gripes with these subpar games. It just feels like they make no effort. It's also very easy to just like not really care. I'm not involved in a story at all, mate.
The method to make this platinum less painful is to play as Clumsy. His ability allows you to dodge roll through the level, and when you do the roll, you have a brief period of invincibility. Doing this 20 times will earn us 2 trophies, and all you have to do is spam square to get them.
Use your Smurf ability. Wow, we're locked in now. Oh, ain't no accident.
Now, since this can be spammed indefinitely, you can use this to more or less stay invincible the entire time. And thank fuck you can, because what you're seeing now is the entire game.
Do I actually need to do anything?
A side-scrolling new Super Mario Bros. Ripoff, but instead of well-known characters, we are sat playing as this dude.
I can actually just sit here and spam it. What, so I'm just invincible then? This is basically just going to be my life for the next like 6 hours then. To be honest, if I didn't just pop all those trophies on the first level, I would have probably switched the game out and played something else. Like, what even is this? I would barely even call it a game, to be honest. How have you taken like a proven concept, fucking Mario, that's been around for decades, and just half-ass it with fucking awful graphics? This is probably made in like a week, mate. Let's be real. Like a school project.
The only 2 trophies you need to stress about really are right here. One for collecting every coin in the game, and another one for activating True Blue in every level. What is True Blue, you ask? Well, according to the Smurf wiki, the True Blue spell is one used on Smurfette to turn her into a real Smurf. I'm sure this makes sense in the film, but in the game, why are we going True Blue on every level as characters that are already Smurfs? The way it works here is that going True Blue makes you invincible, and you can run through enemies to free them. But yeah, that's basically all there is to it. At the end of each level, Gargamel will come down in this little PNG bubble and waffle a few words of wisdom. Sometimes you'll get a teaser to an upcoming boss. Sometimes you'll see Smurfette doing whatever she likes, but for more than 30 levels across 6 worlds, taking me just shy 4 hours, spamming square was all I really did.
I might actually just have to lock in and put on a movie or something. Not only do I feel overly tired, but what am I even playing? There really is no point to this game. This is like shovelware before shovelware. This is literally my name is Mayo, guys.
The final level of each world has a boss that you're required to beat without getting hit for a trophy. These, as you can imagine, are the easiest things to do in the world because, well, you're invincible. You can just roll through the attacks and avoid everything. I think my favorite one in the game was against Gargamel's cat. Not for anything the game did, but because, you know, it's a cat.
There we go. That was doing it without getting hit, I believe.
It was at this point I realized as long as you hold a single blueberry, you can't die. I could fall into the void and rise in a bubble. I could get hit by an enemy and fly away. Literally anything was possible with a single blueberry in my possession, and combined with the invincible rolling strat, well, why was I even playing the game? Fun fact, and this is insane by the way, on release, this game was $39.99. $39.99. I feel like at some point someone had to step in and shut these licensed games down because the cheek of this price is absurd. You might have noticed that I barely touched on the trophies, and that is for good reason. The only ones that are really worth focusing on are these 2, and they made it impossible to collect all of the coins on the first playthrough because you need to defeat Gargamel to unlock the character swap ability. So let's just skip past all of these repetitive levels and do just that.
I'm the best for the job. No! Run! Okay, Gargamel, I'm ready.
Oh, the end of the game. The character swap ability is kind of cool, to be fair, and it's something the game really did need the entire time. Locking it behind the final boss is a weird decision, as all you'd want to replay the game for at this point is the remaining coins, and not at all for a bit of fun. Smurfette can float mid-air, allowing you to grab coins in awkward spots. Gutsy can dash into blocks, breaking through them to reach new areas. Brainy can essentially double jump, and Grouchy can slam to break blocks underneath. These are the only characters required for the coins, so the other 6 you can play as are pointless and not worth your time. While going through the levels for the coins, I was making sure to go True Blue in each one as well. The game doesn't track this stat anywhere visually, so missing a single True Blue in a level would force me to repeat the entire game again, as I would have no clue where I forgot to activate it. All in all, this took me a little over 5 hours with a few snack breaks and getting distracted with fire YouTube documentaries I ended up finding. But after all this time I'll never see again, I broke the 100th block as Gutsy.
Oh, Smurf Smash, that's the 100 bricks one.
Went True Blue for hopefully the final time.
This should be the last turn blue, I think, so as long as I don't die now. If it isn't, then I've missed one. And the issue would be that I don't know which one I've missed.
And soon after, found the last coin of the playthrough.
Well, I think we're done. Well, I hope we're done anyway. Okay, right, so we need Truly Blue. Yes, let's fucking go. I can't believe it. We've got 4 Smurfs to just press square on, basically. I actually can't believe so many people have done this, man. Yeah, 4,100 people played this game. It says it's a 40% platinum. I can't imagine 4,000 people just sitting there playing this, mate. There you go. I just got to do this. Just got to spam 20 times. There you go. Advanced Alchemy. Next one is Grouchy.
When it's over,
yeah, I hate special moves. Such pointless trophies, man. I kind of get it, yeah, but like, I don't know, for every single Smurf, it's a bit over the top. Hefty is the last one. This will pop the platinum, though. They obviously delayed a bit, though, won't they? But there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Yes! The smurfiest smurf to ever smurf the smurf. What a waste of time. The whole thing was just a load of nothing. Massive time sink. This one 100% deserves to be delisted, I think. No doubt about it at all. One of your classic licensed games, but it's actually like terrible. Compared to like Iron Man, Jumanji, compared to anything I've played, this is easily the worst licensed game I've ever touched. It must have been thrown together last minute and they were like, yeah, calm. That'll do.
And this is where the rankings stand. SpongeBob, valid delisting. Madagascar 3, valid delisting. Ice Age 4, deserved, but at a lower price, I think it could have stayed. Family Guy, not deserved, and is easily the best one here. And Smurfs 2 should have never ever seen the light of day. Thank you as always for watching. If you're still here, then I really do appreciate it a lot. And I will see you all relatively soon in the next one. Bye bye!